Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Happy Friday morning, and good news, everybody. Also, I just want to do a little bit of an update here before we get started with the video, is that on Monday, I am going to be moving into my new apartment in Frankfurt. So maybe, just maybe, for the people who've been complaining about my white light and my bright outdoor window over there of my friend's apartment, by the way, which is why, I can't do anything about it because I'm not going to be rude and try to fix somebody else's house. But anyways, I'm going to be moving into my new place come Monday. So there's going to be a little bit of a different setup going on. So I might be able to see what happens there. So exciting news, finally get an apartment of my own. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about, basically, it's going to be like a preview of what's probably going to be in the blog. There is a lot of Datamines coming out. The reason why Juggernaut is on the screen is because there is, actually, this might not even be in the blog, but there is a new tower mode that is coming that is going to feature the Accursed team. We're going to talk about what that means. And, I did a video about not building Juggernaut and Mordo, which I still haven't really done to any big degree. And I guess that's going to depend on whether or not you care about the event when it comes out and what rewards those are. We're going to talk about that and more in today's video. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. I also forgot to mention that, of course, in the intro, might have seen this on the thumbnail. I think I put this on my thumbnail. And this was the event issue resolved from yesterday. I don't know why I didn't lead with this stuff. But anyways, we're going to be talking about that a little bit as well. So that was the fuck up from yesterday where, all of the Accursed characters were in the Intel store. And some of us went ham on buying them, including myself. Now, what's a little bit interesting about this, they didn't. I'm a little bit surprised that they did a complete refund, that they were able to do that accurately. This is the exact amount of intel that I spent. I did 17 purchases, so 12.5 thousand times 17 gets me that, and the 1,000 power cores that I spent to reload my store a bunch of times to get the shards for Satana and the Hood, which is what I ended up purchasing. Now they're gone from the roster screen. Still have a little bit of a cough still remaining, which sucks. They're no longer in the roster screen, right? They're gone. When are they going to show back up? I don't know. Maybe when they decide that they can actually implement it without screwing things up. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about that, though, is that, it's not a lot, but I did end up spending 1,000 power cores, and then it went towards my Ride of the Allfather leaderboard milestone, right? Which is going to be ending on Monday. Tuesday? Monday? 3 days? Today's Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, that should be right. And so this is a pretty big deal because this event is obviously really important. It not only has Mystic Minis, right? If you're in the top 4,000, you get 80/80. But for anyone in the top 5,000, you also get a 1 Diamond Odin. And so I think that, that will have some impact. Maybe not a ton. Like 1,000 cores is not a ton on the points, but it's still points that people just got returned to them that they can just then spend again if they so wish. So they're double dipping on the power core. Some people might have been able to take more advantage of that than others, and that does impact the leaderboard a little bit, especially for people who blew a lot of cores. So if they do anything about that, I'm not sure. Not only that, but they are going to give you additional stuff. So I want to kind of just jump on over to this follow up to the Accursed in the Intel store. This is posted by Pathfinder. Let's go into the full screen mode just so you can see everything completely clear. And this posted on Reddit. Follow up to the Accursed in the Intel store. I think it was also in Discord as well if you follow any MSF news channels. Commanders, following our previous communication, this is last night of course, we have thoroughly reviewed the data and will be taking the following actions for all affected players. All shards acquired for Helverine, Satana, and the Hood will be removed from all players. A full refund of the intel and a full refund of power cores, which is what I just showed you guys. And then we will be sending a players a compensation of 100,000 intel and 1,000 power cores. So everyone is getting this stuff for free, which is great, right? That's a lot of free shit that you got for doing nothing, or basically because myself and others may have taken advantage of it. And honestly, some people were asking me why did I do it, because I said I wasn't going to go into this team anyways. I'll be honest, it's because of the chaos. I love the chaos. I think it's absolutely hilarious when Scopely fucks up, which happens like almost all the time, and I decided to take advantage of that willingly. So the fact that this was the case, it's just, I think the more people that took advantage of it, the more there would have been some sort of some compensation, which there was. And 100,000 intel is pretty good, especially 1,000 power cores is pretty good. Hell, that's like more than the promo codes that came out recently. So 100,000 intel will give you about 12 and a half G20, right? It's like 40,000 for 5. So yeah, about 12 and a half G20 minis if you're putting it into that. Or if you're putting it into shards, I guess that's 40 character shards. So whatever you want to do with the intel. But that's most likely, I'm going to assume that this is going to come by Monday next week. I don't know, but I'm just assuming they don't want to give more power cores for the existing milestone that is available in Bride of the Allfather. Again, what they do about, people who spent a lot of cores and then just basically got it back for free like I did, I don't know if they're going to do anything about that. We'll have to wait and see if they put out any other announcement in the blog later on today or anything like that. Now, I did want to kind of jump back a little bit to what I was saying earlier on in the intro about Juggernaut and Mordo, because there is, it's funny, the accursed tag's actually still there in the game. So I guess the rework did flip over, but they just removed the characters from the game. Also, apparently, if you go to the squad, is it still there? If you go into the squads, okay, never mind. It was actually up here where they were listed as a raid team, but I guess that's gone now. So there is going to be an upcoming, there's going to be an upcoming tower mode that is going to require the accursed team. Also, we know that there's the next negative zone, which I don't know if it's next week or not, but it is also going to require the accursed team because those nodes 9 through 12 on the negative zone do have the Cosmic Crucible game mode active, as far as I'm aware from the Datamines from what I have seen. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's next week. I swear, if I have to do negative zone every single, I'm just not gonna run it, right? Like there's no way I'm doing negative zone every single day for 3 months. It's just absolute bonkers. So I hope this is the end of it from the daily perspective. What I would, and if anyone's watching this from Scopely, what I would love, please, I'm fine with negative zone, but do not make it every single day. Have some sort of 2 or 3 day cooldown, please. I don't want to be sitting here running this every single day. Absolutely bonkers when this comes back and they add 4 more nodes onto this. But anyways, let's go on over to the Datamines because there's quite a few things that we need to cover for the rest of today. All right, and this is in the Datamines channel, of course, here that you can find on my Discord server. If you want to follow that, you can also share this with your Alliance Discords and whatnot. So let's just start off right at the top. So survival event card titled Tartarus Tower. So this is going to be the name of the upcoming tower. Now, what is it as I'm thinking it's not a sword. I'm thinking it's not a kiln, right? It's some degree of new revamped sword satellite or just regular tower mode, because it does say this is battle with the accursed team, but over here it says bring in the accursed team, battle to the top of the tower to earn devilishly amazing rewards. I think it's going to be a lot like what we saw last time, but the thing is that it says it requires, now this could be subject to change, right? But it has listed all 5 of the characters: Helverine, Hood, Satana, Mordo, and Juggernaut. So that suggests to me it's not a 3-person thing like Kiln normally is. So this could just be a regular 5-person tower mode that somehow requires the accursed team to use in that battle. We'll find out as well. There's also this new accursed allies orb, and this contains character shards. It doesn't say who, gold training modules to prepare for the arrival of the accursed team. And this is going to be in the showcase, which is interesting because it's going to be the first time, I think, that the showcase has had like a flat orb that you could farm out of this. Seems like maybe that they're doing quite a bit of different things here this time around for the month of June, because they're kind of going back a little bit on some things and then they're bringing some new things in. So we'll see how this works. Maybe it's just going to contain characters like Juggernaut and Mordo, so like a fast track way to be able to get some of the other characters if you don't have shards for them. But it does say it also is going to contain golden training modules. So will we need to power core? Will we want a power core for the showcase because of this? We'll have to find out when it goes live next week. Now, they're bringing back this Astral Force currency. I think I talked about this before, maybe above in the last Datamines video, but it says collect Astral Force to progress in the Harbinger weekly command center events. Astral Force is previously the Shadow King currency for getting red stars for him. It was like you could buy the red stars, I think. It was just super weird, so maybe they're bringing this back. The Pride Gem, again, just repeating this again because it does talk about finding the Pride Gem to progress in the weekly Harbinger command center events. But more specifically, I have another entry here about the coming out event. So you may remember this from last year. Anyways, in June is Pride Month, PS. So gain progress in the weekly Harbinger command center events by locating and collecting Pride Gems hidden throughout the game. Some items might be connected to missions and events that feature notable LGBTQ+ characters. So it's time to test your Marvel Pride knowledge. Normally, this ends up being some sort of, on a node is what I remember from last time. It was that like it was a certain character that you would find, and then the pride gem would be like on the node or something that you have to spend energy to get like one time, something like that. So just expect that. We have the Diabolical Dealings Accursed Showcase, right? Nothing new here. Helverine is going to be first, and then I forgot the order. I think it's in this order. I think Hood is second, and Satana is third released, which is why I was buying shards for Satana during the fuck up. And then it does say in the text though, this event includes a chapter for each new team member, blah 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 blah. But it says assemble the full squad and take on the all new team tower. Only the strongest teams will reach the top, and glory waiting there. So this is kind of the second part description of the tower, of the, what was it called? The Tartarus Tower that's coming. I don't know when, possibly maybe in like 2 weeks that they're already showing in the data mines. I don't know. Does it require the full team? Possibly. How high do we need to have them? I don't know. We don't have the full information regarding that. I don't think it's probably even going to be in the blog today because I think this is more than a week out. There's also, this is interesting here, forgot to mention, there is going to be the return of Omega Red Phoenix Force. Now, these are in the offers. So are there going to be an event where it gives you free Omega Red Phoenix Force shards? I hope so, but I don't know to what degree that is going to be, or if they're just bringing him back simply if you want to pay for him. Now, it hasn't been, when was his event? Like 3 months ago, right? It was in February, I think, that they brought him out. And they brought him out through a tower. So that's interesting, right? Like his release event was a tower mode. So is Tartarus Tower going to be, is it going to contain some shards for Omega Red Phoenix Force? What are they doing regarding that? That I don't know, but know that there is some return of Omega Red Phoenix Force coming back. Whether or not that's free to play available, that's another question. So again, for the offers there. And then I also want to kind of go back to some of the things that we talked about regarding the weekly events. So it seems, Commander, this is an update actually, that they changed the wording on this. Commander, find mystical relics through weekly Harbinger events to earn 310 Quasar shards. Now, what's different about this one, though, is that they don't refer to the command center, because the old version of this talked about event items in the command center. So are they bringing back weekly milestone events in the actual milestone tab? It seems at the least that they're bringing in weekly items that you're going to need to collect, and that is going to give you points in the command center. But it seems like they might be coming back with weekly milestone events, because in some weeks there was a lot of nothing going on, and so a lot of people were saying that maybe there was just less resources coming into your account because they just didn't have as much stuff. So there you go. That's coming back, and that's probably going to be in the blog later on today as well. Same stuff there. It says Old Man Logan Diamonds. I guess we'll find out if that's still something. But you can buy it. Can't you just buy it in the Elite store now? So maybe this is a bug now that I think about it. I forgot that they eventually did put the Old Man Logan Diamonds into the Elite store, which I bought, right? And so now we have official confirmation about the Songbird free-to-play event. It is called Cosmic War. Coming soon, Cosmic War. This very well could be next week as well. Earn Songbird shards and Thunderbolt Diamond Orb fragments. Get ready for the Cosmic War milestone. Gain progress in this event by battling in war with Vigilantes at 567 yellow. I find this a bit weird because down here is the reverse, so I think the text is fucked up. And then it says battling Cosmic Crucible with Liberty. I think they changed it around. But anyways, there you go. And there's going to be some Thunderbolt Diamond Orbs, some Songbird shards, probably about 100 or so there. And the points, like I said, this is where it's actually accurate. Earning allied supply orb fragments. So this could be a weekly event. Actually, maybe it's not the full 100 shards. Maybe this is like it was for Daredevil Modern, right? Where it's going to be, maybe this is just a weekly event and you're going to get 25 shards per week. That kind of thing. Maybe it's a slow grind for Songbird. I'm not sure. But you get points for doing that, playing war battles, playing Crucible battles. But then you get bonus points for playing Crucible battles with Vigilantes at 5, 6, 7 yellow. And then playing War with Liberty at 5, 6, 7 yellow Liberty. And Liberty is going to be farmable pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, because I think it was further up that there was actually, wasn't it in my last video? I swear, like I had something right here, Liberty Fountain anyways. They talk about Peggy Carter Shard is going to be available in the War Store. Falcon Joaquin is going to be available in the Arena Store. And then Patriot is going to replace Kahorian Miss Marvel Classic as the featured character in the Spotlight Raid Orb. So I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but if I didn't, I'm going to do it again here so that you guys know that. Scrolling back down, where are we at? Again, Songbird. And then finally, yeah, so you can see down here, this is talking about the Weekly Harbinger events for Harbinger Month 2. So earn Accursed Ally Orb Fragments from the Accursed Showcase campaigns, play Crucible, win Crucible battles, and then they talk about finding the items, and they specifically call out the weeks, right? So the Hellfire Wreath Claws in week 5, Cloak of Dormammu week 6, Boots of Dormammu week 7, and the Demonicon in week 8, and you get some bonus points. It's probably monthly points, right, for using the new characters, Helverine, Hood, and Satana. So just something that I wanted to outline there for you guys, and I think that's about it, right? You know, so that's kind of what's going on. A lot of this you're going to see in the blog later on today. So really, I think that this is just a little bit of a preview of what the blog is going to contain. Some of the stuff may not be in the blog, such as the tower mode. I don't think that there's a tower next week. I think because it also mentions that you need the other new characters, which obviously is not going to happen this quick. And I just wanted to give people a bit of a heads up. Now, I'm still going to leave my accursed characters here, right? I'm not going to build them until I have a real tangible reason that I actually want to do it for a reward, or maybe there's something crazy that just can't be missed. I don't know what that's going to be, but until I find out more, I'm going to leave them here. I haven't seen enough information about the team that I feel like I want to. I'm not huge on PvP anyways, so I'm going to just hold the line until there's something better or some other reason that I have to build them. Who knows? Maybe we could get through with building them either without building them or building them very minimally. We'll have to find out, especially when Negative Zone comes back again for those nodes 9 through 12. We can also use the other two teams of Thunderbolts and Vigilantes, and we'll see if they're capable of doing those nodes at all. Anyways, that's going to be it for my Friday preview non-blog video, whatever you want to call this. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. There's going to be more videos across the weekend, of course, too, once I get to see the blog, see if there's anything different about what I talked about here today, and more on this channel. So have a great rest of the weekend, everyone, or the start of the weekend anyways, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.